Hi, this is Mark Birch with the second part of my revision of ODE Grayson Perry Urn by Tim Turnbull from Poems of the Decade. The poetic voice is initially presented by Turnbull as a witty, mocking figure who transcends the class divide. The title's punning of Grayson with Grecian prepares the reader for the poem's wit, while the shocking contrast between low-frequency lexis and colloquial language conveys the way in which the poetic voice undermines the concept of high and low culture, given that high and low are expressed by the same voice. The linguistic and artistic contrasts that are evident in the binary oppositions of Keats and Turnbull, Latinate and colloquial language, Greek pastoral and contemporary urban, Grecian urn and Perry urn, are also evident in the representation of Perry himself. He is some Shirley Temple manqué. Now, an appreciation of early cinema and the child actress Shirley Temple is required in order to appreciate the contrast to Perry's alter ego, Claire. The poetic voice mocks the urn's creator through the comparison to a naive child, and the description of him as a manqué or failure reinforces the sense that both artist and art are condemned. He's a manqué, and his populist work is merely a kitschy vase. Kitschy connotes popular but tasteless, and it's interesting that the work's value as a piece of art is demeaned by denoting it a vase rather than an urn, a utilitarian product rather than an object to be admired. And this is reinforced by the carelessness suggested by knocked out. Turnbull turns to the images depicted on Perry's urn, youths from a low socioeconomic group causing chaos on the roads, mirroring the wild ecstasy of Keats's opening stanza. The harsh nature of these lives is conveyed through the harsh consonants of k in kids in cars on crap estates, the Burberry clad. The danger posed by the depicted behaviour is conveyed by the juxtaposition of kids and cars. The noun kids connotes a youth that's inappropriate for control of a vehicle. Turnbull exploits stereotypes of the working classes through reference to the chav stereotype of being Burberry clad, and relying on the associations of crap estates and the industrial poverty associated with places like Manchester, Motherwell or Slough. We're invited to look down on these people because of societal expectations, but throughout the poem, Turnbull introduces an alternative view. These people have a lust for life that could be envied. By the final stanza, when he imagines an observer regarding these images divorced of context, he suggests that they will see lives so free. Initially, however, the poetic voice presents a tone of condemnation. The youths are causing bedlam on the Queen's Highway. The noun phrase is a formal and archaic term, usually only used in connection with disrespectful behaviour on the roads. The disapproval is also evident in the noun bedlam, given its denotation of loud uproar. However, Turnbull may also use this term to foreshadow the poem's interest in meaning being divorced from context, as most users of the word bedlam have no knowledge of its etymology as an asylum for the insane in London. This concept of meaning, free of context, lies at the heart of the poem's claim that truth was all negotiable. The stanza concludes by moving from the aesthetic belittling of the vase as a gaudy evocation of contemporary urban life to an appreciation that Perry has captured this life in such a way that it doesn't inspire the fear of the urban youth that would be generated by the right-wing press accounts exemplified by stories in the Daily Express. A representation is subject to interpretation, and again, truth was all negotiable. The second stanza continues exploring the urn's representations, focusing on sound, as does Keats's Ode on a Grecian Urn. In both cases, the imagined sound is more beautiful than the actual sound. With the Perry Urn, the loud sounds of the urban scene educe a sense of peace, of calm, because they're formed by the imagination, without assaulting the ears. This sense of peace may be conveyed by the caesura within of peace, of calm. This contrasts with the noise represented by the zoomorphic roar and long assonance of throaty turbo. This protracted sound is complemented by the harsh consonants of t, and the excess of the noise may be conveyed by the I rhyme of throaty turbo roar. The urn's imagery preserves these youths in a frozen moment. Part of its beauty rests in the fact that danger is represented, but the static nature of the image means that the danger is never realized. No harm will befall these children. The shift from kids and louts in the first stanza to girls and children in the second conveys a movement towards affection and compassion from the perspective of the poetic voice. The stanza enjambment of "they will stay out late forever" reinforces this sense of extended time, just as the line's meaning is extended across the stanza. This complements both the length of time that the youths will stay out until, and the infinite time that this moment will be preserved on the urn. So please check out the final video for the conclusion of the poem's analysis. Okay, ta.
Created using Powtoon.